Great. So welcome to week 95 on resistance. So this week we want to look at what it is that we resist in our lives and increase our awareness of it so that we can begin to let it go. Because we've all heard the saying, what you resist persists. So often when there's things in our lives that we are resisting or reliving, or just like the discussion we were having before with work, when there's a lack of time or a lack of money, then quality is compromised. Like there's always things that we're resisting, and it keeps getting us kind of in that loop cycle of these situations that create resistance in us instead of being in flow. The opposite would be flow. If we're reliving the past, also creates resistance to what we really want in the future, or thinking that the past predicts your future, that you're kind of set in, something that happened instead of being the creator of your life going forward. So when you can release that resistance that you're feeling, then things begin to flow. And it's a kind of a paradox that the thing that you try to change the most, that creates resistance. But when you're no longer in a position to want to change it, like you're accepting life as it is, you're accepting that situation or that person or your job or whatever relationship, you're accepting it as it is, you're loving it as it is. When resistance dissipates, that's when it changes, which is a strange thing. When you no longer require something to change, then it has the room to change, because that the energy of resistance dissipates and now there's room. So that's what we're going to practice together in meditation today, just seeing where we have resistance and just practicing letting go and giving space and room for it. So let's practice that together in meditation. So I invite you to lower your gaze or close your eyes, whichever is more comfortable for you and minimizes distractions. And take a deep grounding and centering breath, remaining fully present to that breath from the very beginning of the inhale to the end of the exhale. And just invite a sense of ease and flow to this moment. A feeling of being more grounded, more present. And just begin to relax the muscles on your face, letting go of any tension, starting with your jaw, your tongue, your forehead, and the muscles between your eyes. And then let everything else relax in turns. So just noticing that feeling of relaxation permeating your entire body, the back of your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your chest, abdomen, hands, your hips, your legs, your knees, your ankles, your feet, your toes. Just feeling that feeling drop through your entire body, feeling a little more weightless, and grounding that energy beneath your feet. And realizing that even tension in the body is a form of resistance. Letting it go. Now bring to mind something that you resist. It might be an experience from the past that you're reliving, replaying in your mind. It could be a work situation, a person at work, a relationship, or a difficult family member. Just trust whatever comes up for you, even if it doesn't make any sense. That's the right thing to explore. And just imagine whatever that is that you're resisting. That difficulty. That thing you wish would change. Just imagine replaying that out fully in your mind, just to get into that feeling of resistance. What does resistance feel like in your body? Where do you feel it in your body? And as you think of this resistance, what happens in your body? Is there a tension or a tightness? Pain or pressure? What does resistance feel like to you? And allow the breath to ease it just a little bit so you can observe it without too much tension. Flowing in and out with the breath. Noticing that tightness or pain or discomfort in the body and staying with it. Being aware of resistance. When we feel resistance, what it feels like. What is it that you wish would change or be different? What do you wish didn't happen? And just remain with that feeling of resistance. And just remember that your breath is safe and it's an anchor to the present moment. Whatever you're feeling, just remain with your breath and observe what is just as it is. And just breathe through whatever is coming up. Just imagine expanding a little bit to make space if it's too tight or too constricted. And then ask yourself if there's a willingness to let go. A willingness to let go of your need for anything to be different. It doesn't have to take a lot of willingness, just a little willingness to see things differently, to accept things as they are. To see a different way. And if there's a little bit of willingness, Just imagine a door opening wherever that feeling of resistance is. It can open just a crack if you have a little willingness, or you can open it fully if you're fully willing. Whatever you need, just let some light in. And see if it helps dissipate that feeling of resistance a little bit. And see if there's an increased willingness to let go. Now you're able to love this situation, person, relationship, just as it is. Is there a willingness to love that? To not have the need to change it. Let go of the need to change anything. And seeing that if you release that resistance, that need for things to be different, see if it can create room for other possibilities. With each breath, just imagine that resistance fading. Or exiting your body. And just imagine this space, expanded reality. It has no resistance. That finds another way. And just see how resistance, that feeling of resistance, if it's still there in this new space, in your imagination, how they coexist. Does this resistance want to control that space of acceptance, things being just as they are, an expanding possibility? So try to control it, or does it flow on by? Does resistance release its energy to this space? And if you're still feeling resistance, just see if you can send it more love, a little more acceptance, a little more willingness to let go of the need for change. Just keep loving it until it's willing to exit. And if resistance has reduced, and you're imagining this new space where there's acceptance of things as it is and increased possibility, imagine that flowing in through the door and filling the space. It's an expanded space where there was resistance before. Just filling with acceptance and possibility. Just allowing every cell in your body to expand with acceptance and possibility. A renewing of the mind that when we let go of the need to control or resist or change something, when we accept it just as it is, then there is room or space for it to transform on its own. And just let that possibility expand to every cell of your body. Expanding until it starts to shine outward from every pore. And just notice the color of that possibility for you. Where is resistance now? Might be a little ball outside of your body. Might have completely dissipated. Just imagine being in harmony with that resistance that you felt before. Playing with the color that it is, or if it's a ball, playing with that ball. If it's dissipated, just being in that energy that it's left behind. This isn't a casting out of resistance. We're accepting and loving that emotion or feeling just like any other. But we want to make room for its opposite. Acceptance of what is just as it is. So we can be in our full power, in full flow. Just imagine yourself harmonizing with that energy of resistance that's not a tightness or controlled resistance, just an energy or color mingling with that energy or color of acceptance. Feeling into the full spectrum of your experience. And not holding on to any of it. Imagine letting it go. And let the breath guide you. Now imagine that situation, that relationship, a family member. Just imagine it again, but from this new perspective, this new energy, this new connection. And just see if you can be present without holding on in your body to anything. See if you're able to release that moment. Just like the breath. See if you're able to not be reactive, to just be in flow and acceptance of what is as it is. And as you're in this space in full acceptance, we're practicing full acceptance. Again, without the need to hold on to acceptance. Being in flow. Just imagine a smile, or allow a smile to form on your face. To infuse this experience of flow and letting go, releasing. Just being in the moment to moment. And let that smile infuse into every cell of your body, creating cell memory. Imagine every cell smiling. Notice that energy of your entire body smiling. Notice the color of the light that emits. And let that color mix in with acceptance and resistance. Being in flow to our full spectrum. And slowly begin the process of coming back from the meditation. Letting go of the colors, letting go of the energy, the sensation. Emptying out any tension with each breath. Noticing sounds in the room. Noticing any scent or taste, sensations on your skin, the weight where you're seated or under your feet. You might want to begin to wiggle fingers and toes, stretch or sway side to side, whatever you need. Just trust. Trust this moment is complete. You have everything you need. And you do not need to rush back, but when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes, and just remember that it doesn't have to take 30 minutes out of your day to meditate. You can experience one breath of awareness, just one breath, seeing what you're resisting or getting in tune with what that resistance feels like in your body, so that you're increasing your awareness of that. So you realize when you're in resistance, and then allowing the exhale to release it. Allowing the in-breath to send love and acceptance, out-breath, releasing. Just one breath at a time, practicing, and whatever you focus on grows over time. So if you're live with me, we'll write down together now any thoughts or insights that you might have had during the meditation. It's always a good and powerful thing to take a moment to write down your thoughts and insights. And if you're not with me right now, I thank you for taking the time to practice with me today. And I hope you have a wonderful day and week ahead.